Right, so does anybody out there know how to repair, restore a brake master cylinder? This one is the master cylinder off of my Honda CX500c I removed last week. As you can see, there was basically nothing in it. There was no fluid in it whatsoever. There was still fluid in the lines, but nothing in here. You can see where it's all leaked out from, because it's all around where the lever runs into the unit, and you can see the rubber around that depression switch is all completely perished. So yeah, no prizes for guessing how that kind of leaked out. But it's a real shame when you look at the fact that I've put a fairly half decent aftermarket part on. It only cost me about 12 quid. I'm sure it won't last for years and years and years. But yeah, there are differences to it. Firstly, you've got the it's all sort of aluminium. You've got the banjo round the front rather than the side. So I did have to twist the cable round. It's not under any strain or anything like that, so it'll be okay. It moves perfectly freely. But it's got this chromed lever as well. Really, I just couldn't find one similar to the original. With the banjo around the side and a sort of clear plastic and sort of plain alloy sort of alley lever, like the original. So a bit of shame. I did try and put the lever in, the old lever into there, but it was just slightly too wide by probably about a mil. I could have just shaved it down, but I didn't really want to damage it, to be perfectly honest. So I think what I'll do is this one's functional, that's fine, but I think what I'll do is I'll just keep this as a spare for when I manage to either replace or repair this. So I didn't know whether there's anyone out there who's kind of got any experience of sorting these things out. I know there's kind of master cylinder repair kits, but I don't know how good they are or to what extent they will repair a master cylinder. There are usable bits on this, of course, for if I sell it off on eBay. You've got a decent banjo bolt, it moves freely, there's no corrosion on it, there's no leakage through there. This is just sort of dirt from it being years old, really, I suppose, where the paint's come off and it's slightly marked, and from road wear. You got what is a functional brake switch there, which puts the light on and off. That's all fine, it was working all right. The actual lever bolt there, that works fine, that's fine, it moves freely, it's not a problem at all. And the actual bracket there, you can see these advertised on eBay. Those are the sorts of things that get perhaps lost when people take things off, and need to go and buy spares. Even the cover's really nice, actually, and it's a bit of authentic biking history, isn't it, really, when you've got something that's original. So I don't know whether this is repairable or whether it just needs basically cannibalising for parts for someone else. That's probably the best idea, to be fair. But if anyone's ever done one of these, let me know, upload a comment, and yeah, because it would be nice. Because one thing I do really want to do is, as best as possible, keep this bike original. You see an awful lot of very old, I mean, this is only 35 years old, this CX500, but you do see an awful lot of highly restored vintage and veteran bikes, and you do question how much of the original bike is actually there when you look at the amount of parts that have been put on as aftermarket. So yeah, it would be good to hear from anyone who knows how to perhaps sort that out, really. So yeah, but I've had a bit of a play on these two bikes. They still need MOTs, CX500 and the Virago. They still need the MOT doing, but I forgot to mention the other day, actually, they are finished, all bar just an oil change. I spent a bit of time fettling with this. Fettling, probably the wrong word. Just having a little play with the oil cover there on the right to get that off, and drained the oil completely out. And before I go refilling it, I am just going to replace the O-ring under that cover. And so I've got the filter, I've got all the oil for it, and I've got the filter for this one and all the oil for it, but I just need to order an O-ring for it as well. So yeah, that's the only things I need to do with these, and the final drive oil. I've got the final drive oil as well, because these are both shaft driven. So do you know what? I absolutely love this bike. The engine is absolutely brutish. When you look at that, engine. You wouldn't know that was a 500cc looking at it. It just looks like an absolute animal, doesn't it? Compared to, say, the Honda CB500, which, you know, it's quite plain and mundane and nothing really to look at. It's just functional, you know, which is what you get from a sort of a straight twin cylinder engine, really. So three very different engines. You know, you've got a twin, approximately 500cc, 499. You've got the V-twin, which is obviously set across two blocks. And then you've got Honda's, what I believe is first V-twin engine. And it's just beautiful to look at. And it's not an overhead cam. It can't be an overhead cam because you've got these twisted cylinder heads. They're sort of twisted at 22 degrees. So essentially they're push rod and tappets, because the shafts run on this bike, they run front to back. That's why you can see the clutch cover there. So shafts run front to back, and you wouldn't be able to run a cam chain off of that shaft up into the top of the cylinders, because obviously the cylinder heads are twisted. As you can see, there's kind of just sort of slightly that way, 22 degrees anyway, I think the measurement is. So they're push rod and tappets, and Honda did that, I believe, so that they could then move the carburetors further in. I don't quite know why they couldn't sort of done the mechanicals on that outside. Anyway, I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I love that engine. It looks great, and that's probably one of the best looking naked bikes I've ever seen. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I'm looking forward to having some good rides out on this once it's MOT'd and I've done the oil and filter change. And yeah, might even get a helmet cam and upload a video or two. Anyway, see you later.